Welcome, everybody, to 5 Tips in 5 Minutes, Rediscovering Your Greatness Within, Women's Talks, Tips and Techniques for Empowerment, Courage, and Purpose. I'm Mitta Wise, your host, and I'm a hypnotherapist and empowerment coach from New Zealand, living in Los Angeles and often found in India. So I'm also giving thanks to my podcast editor and partner, Mike Saul, who, by the way, is a professional jazz piano player in Los Angeles. I'll put his link in the notes too. So the timing of the 5 tips starts when I actually start the 5 tips. So here are my 5 tips in 5 minutes for today. Let's start the clock. Tip number 1. Let's start with an exercise, the thymus thump. If you have chest, heart, or lung issues, you might want to only tap very lightly or hold off doing this. And always check with your healthcare provider before starting any new program or exercise. So the thymus thump is a short exercise to stimulate the thymus gland. And the thymus gland creates antibodies to fight viruses in our bodies and supports the immune system. So that's why it's so good to do. And this exercise can also boost your energy and reduce stress. So the thymus gland sits here in the middle of the chest. So find the middle of the breastbone. And then you're just going to tap lightly on this point with the pads of your finger. Let's do it now, we can only do it shortly. And you can also do it with a little fist, a lightly closed fist. And not tight, all tight, just loosely, lightly, gently tapping or putting your fist, tapping that area. And you're aiming for a little tingling sensation in your chest rather than a vigorous pounding or something like that. And you can take, if you want, like 3 deep breaths while you tap lightly. And it's often done for 15 to 30 seconds at a time. And you can repeat this practice several times a day, especially when feeling stressed or energetically imbalanced. Some suggest doing it up for a minute or even longer if needed, if you have some stronger emotions. Okay, so that's a nice little energy balancing exercise. Tip number 2, change your language. We average humans have about 40,000 thoughts a day, and most of them are negative. But the good news is boosting positivity can be as simple as changing our thoughts. Start listening for certain keywords in your mental soundtrack and change them. For example, instead of thinking I'm a terrible mother, focus on the positive by saying I'm learning important skills to be a better mother to my kids. When it comes to your mindset, look for phrases like never, hopeless, impossible, too late, not enough, or worthless. You may not realize it, but when you think these words, you're sending yourself a subtle message filled with negativity. And the subconscious mind responds to that. So reframe. Okay, tip number 3. Here's just a simple home tip. We all know to wash our hands regularly using plenty of soap and warm water. But one thing you can do is sing happy birthday twice to make sure you're doing it long enough, okay? You can also put some hand sanitizer inside the door. So when you come in, or your family or whoever's staying in your house or visitors come in from the outside, well, you can have a little bit of hand sanitizer. That's just optional, of course, for your home. Tip number 4, a tip from Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein's advice often centered around curiosity, perseverance, and the importance of valuing others. He encouraged striving for value over success, embracing imagination, and never ceasing to question. He famously said, "Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to be a man of value." He believed that true fulfillment came from contributing to the world and being a person of value rather than solely pursuing personal achievements. Tip number 5, find your own pace. When you start working on yourself, on your business, or improving some aspect of your life, you'll notice others who are on a similar path as you or pursuing similar goals. It can be really tempting, right, to start comparing yourself to them. You may feel bad because you're not progressing as fast as they are, or because they are ahead of you, or that's in your perception. And it's really not fair towards yourself. Yes, some people progress faster, some people appear to progress faster, but maybe you have some other quality that's a little different and stronger. Maybe your discipline and commitment, maybe your empathy. Maybe there's different areas of what you do and the skills you have that are on a different level, right? They're stronger. So just because you feel they're ahead of you right now may not mean anything in the long run. Find your perfect pace and then be okay with it. It can be the slow and steady that win the race. Be it in it for the long benefits, not all the quick wins. Okay, that's my inspirational 5 tips in 5 minutes. I hope they are giving you support, love, and ideas. And that's it for my 5 tips in 5 minutes. See you next time. That's Mitta Wise signing off with love.